Very much the same workflow pattern as you would be accustomed to with TuneTrack's EZdrummer. To load up another library sample is a simple matter of clicking on the drop-down combo box and selecting the instrument of choice. Next up, let's listen to the Electric Mark I. Using the default setting, let's demo it. Beautiful, warm, smooth Rhodes sound. I like to add a little bit of bite. I like to decrease the line/amp blend. Decrease the bass a small bit. Let's demo this. Still lots of mellow Rhodes sound, but a little bit more definition. Again, TuneTrack have done an immense job of sampling all of these instruments bundled with their EZkeys Essential Pianos collection, and they've done so superbly. These were not thrown together any old which way, slapping a pretty interface on it and thinking that people would just fall for the latest market hype. No sir. These are very high quality sample libraries, and I'm very thankful to have them. I'm proud to be a TuneTrack customer. TuneTrack have been good to me. EZdrummer has been my studio drum kit / drummer in many of my own personal projects now since quite a long time. And although I have quite a few other high quality drum sample libraries, I tend to go back to TuneTrack EZdrummer as my preferred go-to first reach choice. So, now that my little sales pitch is finished, no offense, I'm just really excited about this sample library. Let's go through the various presets. DI is nice. Lots of key noise, extra bass. Pedal sampling is there in copious amounts. Cool 1970s vibe. Extra gritty drive. Some phasing. Extra reverb. Moderate bass. Here's the chorus patch. Something that we can also take a look at is that soft note can be adjusted so that the instrument has either a more relaxed mellow sound or a brighter, more percussive attack. The default value is 0. Most of the electric keyboards instrument patches, in my opinion, do need to have a little extra bite and dynamics added to them. Let's take a listen to this now, please. Brings out more detail in the instrument. This is a personal preference of mine. If you're looking for that very willowy, soft Rhodes sound and you haven't a whole lot of instrumentation, it's being used in a very Spartan production style, then perhaps you'll really appreciate the mild, mellow Rhodes sound. But I prefer to have a little more bite, spark in mine. Here's the rotary patch. Soft ballad. That way we get to hear the bell-like quality of the tines. Retro funk. Oh yeah, baby. I even wish I had a big, berry, white voice for this one. For anyone looking for some decidedly grungy sounding Fender Rhodes, you might like distorted chorus. Clean ambience. We can decrease the attack time so we can actually hear the instrument. A wide range of control there using the attack parameter. I could see that particular instrument patch working really well with Embertone's sensual saxophone. By the way, you can look forward to a review of a couple more Embertone instruments in the not too distant future. As I mentioned, Embertone's sensual sax will be one of them, and also the very impressive sounding Chapman trumpet. This is the Electric 200A, a Wurlitzer A200 sample library. Let's investigate the presets bundle with this one. Open up our Dynamics panel there. By the way, isn't that cool how the tuning and Dynamics panels both open up with that nice subtle little bit of animation? Over in Dynamics, as you've seen, we can adjust the highest velocity value that the keyboard will play, as well as its lowest value. Bring that back down here a little bit, and as you've already heard me mention, the soft note functionality. Over on the tuning side, you see that we have control over octaves, negative and positive values. We can also adjust the transposition in perfect semitone increments, as well as by cents. And by the way, folks, it is pronounced cents, not cents. Cents are something that come in coin format that we use to purchase things. Alrighty, that being said, let's take a listen to this first default preset. Beautiful, big, rich, famous Wurlitzer tremolo. It's worth noting that you can decrease the tremolo depth and also rate. I found in my listening test that bringing it down to approximately halfway between 25 to 30%, anywhere in that range, is nicely usable. Otherwise, the tremolo effect overtakes the sound of the instrument itself. For most of the Wurlitzer presets, I find that a variation of line and combo amp should be set to less than the default value. Otherwise, it starts to sound a little too overdriven. I like being able to actually hear that pure Wurlitzer tone. The classic setting, which I really like because it gives us tone control and bite control. However, we lose our tremolo. Oh, Tune Track, please create a preset just like the classic that also includes the tremie. It will be much appreciated. Lots of articulation. You can hear those moving mechanical parts. Hammers against reeds. Beautiful sound. I'll show you what driving up the line/amp combination does. To me, the amp modeling used for this sample library set does not sound like a nice clean tube amp such as a Fender Twin, Pro Reverb, etc. Rather, it sounds more like a small combo amp, perhaps even a Tweed style amp. It overdrives pretty easily, but for sweet, gritty, bluesy rock and roll sound, these amp models rock. DI, direct interface, is nice. We have control over key noise and pedal. The majority of the built-in presets and instrument patches that have been bundled with the EZkeys line sound great out of the box. Nevertheless, I'm firmly convinced that some of them would be even more appreciated by myself and other users if we had a means of building user-adjustable effects chains. For example, some of the patches sound wonderful, but it would be great if we could also add in tremolo. In other instances, being able to add in the tone or bite of the Wurlitzer would be fantastic. The cool swoosh of the phaser ballad patch. By the way, folks, if we wanted to transpose this entire chord progression, we would just simply click on the key button. It brings up this little selection list. Go ahead and select a different key, and it will automatically transpose each chord. Coming down to tremolo delay. So you can hear that there's lots of delay that can be added into the mix. Rotary speaker for anyone like myself who really appreciates the sound of a Leslie or similar. Great for those folks that like the whole psychedelia sound. Finally, Dirty Amp 1. Dirty amp. And you can just crank that little sucker too. So it can be fun, lots of fun. And Dirty Amp 2. And again, we have clean ambience. This could be very useful for chill music. By the way, that's interesting. Every chord that you play is displayed in Tune Track, EZkeys. And finally, rounding out this collection in the Untitled Essential Pianos suite, Untitled have given us one of the finest upright piano sample libraries I think I have ever heard. And now, while I generally gravitate towards the sounds of grand pianos, especially Steinways, I have to admit that out of the collection of these 4 virtual instruments, perhaps this upright sample library set is my favorite from all of them. It sounds like it looks. Beautiful, rich, resonant sound. Polished, powerful, and yet poised and graceful. Even the style of appearance that Untitled have given this instrument, it's bright, yet it's not rock star looking. It has gentle lines, and we see subtle shadowing and texturing all over the place, so it's befitting of an expensive recording studio, or perhaps your grandparents' old country home that is filled with antique furnishings that belong to a different generation when things were made of very high quality natural woods and other types of materials. This piano is very, very impressive. It has a round, rich, powerful sound, and like I mentioned earlier, has a charm and grace and elegance about it that makes it befitting for most nearly any scenario that you would like to apply it to. The notes decay very gradually. There are no abrupt in-your-face samples. It plays across the board evenly and smoothly. Actually, all of these sample libraries share that hallmark quality, but there's just something about the upright piano in this collection that has a little extra sweetness to it. Let's take a listen to the various presets or instrument patches that Untitled have included with upright piano. Raw Tweaks is nice. It allows us to have detuning features as well as the amount of hammer and sustain pedal noise. I like increasing the detail level, but we'll keep it at the defaults for this test, and then I will increase it, let you hear it again. That slight amount of detuning gives us a very authentic old living room or parlor piano sound that maybe hasn't been tuned in the last 15 years, but yet it has all kinds of charm. Let's remove the detuning so that it has the sound of just being restored. Increase the amount of detail, and listen to this. Oh, boys and girls, I don't know about you. As much as I like EZkeys by Native Instruments, sampled by the famous Thomas Scarby, I think Alicia herself would sit at this piano and enjoy it considerably. There's a nice Britpop sound. Huge, big, bright pop sound. It will cut through in a mix without any issues. Britpop 2. Living room is very much what we would expect it to sound like. subdued and somewhat laid back. If we increase the tone a little and add a little bit of detail, this patch would work very nicely in a typical jazz ensemble. Saloon. Gotta love this one. Tinkling the ivories all over the place, slightly out of tune, with too many glasses of liquid spilled around it. '70s ballad is nice. '70s epic. Rich, lush chorusing. I have to admit, I really like the quality of Toontrack's effects as well. '80s chorus is nice, a little bit more subtle on the chorus side of things, and a little bit more definition. It will cut through an '80s ballad pop mix nicely. Balladesque is beautiful. Mellow, with lots of articulation retained, and a beautiful, warm, rich, resonant sound. Southern Comfort, great for those of you that like to sit with the lights down low. Big, mellow tone. Nice, evenly compressed piano. Swedish house piano. This one is also interesting. Huge reverb played in the mix. And filter sweep does a good job of actually giving us the impression that we're listening to an electric piano. So that's the journey through EZkeys line by Toontrack. This is the EZkeys Essential Pianos collection. 4 great instruments, each stand so strongly on its own. I'm Brother Charles of Reviewers Revival. Thanks for watching. God bless, and hope to see you soon.